Warning. The facts you are about to hear are based off 2 hours of researching the pros and cons of history's heroes and most controversial figures. This is Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history.
Holy fuck.
Back again, black again.
It's actually solid. That's actually really solid.
Yeah.
Back again, black again.
Back again, black again. It's our final episode of Black History Month. And today, on Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history, we're going to be talking about Fred Hampton. I didn't even know who Fred Hampton was.
You didn't?
I never even heard the name before.
Wow.
Did you?
I always heard the name because anytime you'd hear about Huey Newton, you'd always hear about Fred Hampton. But other than that, yeah, no.
Really? Because I've heard the name Huey Newton before, but I never heard Fred Hampton. And Fred Hampton, an amazing story. I'll say that now that I've researched him. But it was a short story. It was crazy. A short story. He was only 21 years old at the time of his death, skipping right to the end, which is nuts. When we go through this episode and find out what he accomplished in his short time and why people have heard his name and why people are making movies about a guy that he was really only in the Black Panthers for just over a year, but he just did so much in that year.
Really? That's fucked. I didn't realize that.
Maybe he was affiliated with them, but he was only like leading his own party for a year.
The chairman.
Chairman.
Yeah. At some point he became the chairman. True. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Damn, Fred Hampton. Yeah, when I was watching that movie, what's the movie called? It's a long title.
So the movie's called Judas and the Black Messiah.
That's what's called.
Funny enough that you say that that's a long title because the original title apparently was supposed to be Jesus Was My Homeboy.
For real?
Yeah.
Jesus, thank God they changed that.
I know, right?
What the fuck?
Yeah. When I was looking at
that's far too niggerish.
Yeah, when I was looking at movies about Fred Hampton, and then I saw one title come up that said Jesus Is My Homeboy, but then when I read like who was in it or who was supposed to be in it and the working title, then I'm like, this is Judas and the Black Messiah. They just renamed it, I guess.
That's fucking crazy.
Jesus Was My Homeboy.
But yeah, that movie made me. I only watched, like I said, I only watched 55 minutes of it, but I teared up a couple times.
What episode is this that we're on right now?
Fuck, what episode would this be? I think it'd be 23.
23.
He might be MJ of this one.
Episode 21 was Shaka Zulu, and Judas and the Black Messiah is directed by Shaka King.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was watching the intro.
So our last two episodes were Shaka Zulu, Martin Luther King, and now Fred Hampton, whose movie was directed by Shaka King.
Shout out to Shaka King.
Ain't that a bitch?
Translation, chilled king. Because that's what it means, right? It's when you're chilling out.
I thought Shaka means intestinal beetle.
No. Oh, yeah, you found that. I actually saw it. Actually, Shaka means like chilling.
Huh.
And that's why like Africans do the same shit that Native Americans do. And whatever's going on, they name the kid after. So they were all just chilling. So they're like, yeah.
Well, this Black King had no chill.
None.
His name was Fred Hampton, and from a very young age, he was on a mission to make things better for underprivileged people in his community.
He wanted to make America great again. Could say that
for the first time, maybe.
Yeah, that would have been the first time. But you know what? That was a great time. The fact that he could do that was such a great time. Just from what I've seen of the movie, that's a great time that he could get all that done. Because I feel like right now, somebody would like even in half the time they'd get killed or canceled or something. You know,
the '60s is a very interesting time because at the same time the Vietnam War was going on, America had a big fear of communism, and then we had these revolutions starting up for equal rights, but it also scared the government about communism coming to. Oh, we're going to talk about revolution. We're going to talk about changing things. We're going to talk about equality. Hold on a second. That sounds a lot like communism to me.
It's true. It's true. They kept. That's a weird thought process, but yeah, they would flip it on its head, and everybody would feel that way too.
Because
they're talking that way.
When you watch the movie or when you learn about the guy, you think, man, this guy sounds like a great guy. Why would they kill him? And the reason they would kill him is because they were afraid of communism.
But they weren't afraid of communism.
No?
Well, I mean, if you watch the movie, We're gonna be spoiling this movie for anybody, okay? If you haven't seen it yet, like fuck,
Stop this.
Yeah, fucking go watch it.
Ask me for a link.
True. Yeah. But yeah, no, when you see it, it's not just communism. They're like, when he's talking about threatening the way of life, like when he sits down with that FBI agent, and he's like, "What are you gonna do when your daughter brings home a nigga? What are you gonna do?" He's not talking about communism in that. He's just like, "This is our way of life." And
no, that was just
bored.
That was in the movie, and that was some straight racist stuff. And I think what's his name, J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, I think that was Hoover.
There's a good chance that J. Edgar Hoover was racist for sure.
Well, I mean, the focus on a black messiah would be the racist part. It's not like black people are intrinsically communist, are they? Maybe.
Well, we'll get into Fred Hampton. Definitely, like he saw what Che Guevara did and Ho Chi Minh in China, and like he was studying like Marxist-Leninism or whatever that is.
Yeah, Marxism. You can just call it
Marxism. For anyone that doesn't know what that is, I guess it's an
Leninism.
adaptation of Marxism developed by Vladimir Lenin, which led to the successful communist revolution in Russia. So Fred Hampton was interested by communist stuff, and we'll get into it as we go. But
yeah, I noticed that he, like, when he was talking to some chick, he like quoted Che Guevara to her. I remember that in the movie. I just remember that fresh.
So America, and to this day, the divisiveness, putting things out there, it's better off to have poor white people mad at poor black people about, racism, or just saying like, we don't have jobs, let's blame them. They want everyone to keep blaming each other instead of all the poor people come together and be like, let's just make our country better. Let's make it work for us. And I guess when you had in the 60s these black voices that were loud and needed out there for change, they got some white people behind them too. And then it started waking up other poor people to be like, hey, maybe we should all just be like fighting for this revolution. Maybe equality does sound like a good idea. And then the government's like, let's nip that in the butt.
But that's the thing. Does that turn into communism if everybody comes together?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, I don't think it does. Like right now, if we all come together and we're like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. See, we're falling into the man's trap right now, because if there's just a small group of people that are running shit, and they just want it to stay that way, and then you change that doesn't become communism.
When Che Guevara,
but it depends what you do when you get there.
Yes, exactly.
True.
It does. When Che Guevara wanted to overthrow the Cuban government, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Of course.
But then when the communist power took over, it didn't seem like a good idea to the people. So it is. Who knows if a guy like Fred Hampton was able to live out his days and actually like complete his revolution. Think about how much he did by 21. He's on the FBI radar by 20.
Yeah.
They're already like, this guy's a dangerous guy because he's talking about equality and communist ideals and everything.
Yeah.
So what if Fred Hampton was America's Che Guevara, and then whoever got put in place to take over America, like they overthrow the government? There's a revolutionary guy running the show, and like other communist revolutions all over the world, sometimes it doesn't turn out too great for the people.
Yeah, but that was never the goal. That's Che Guevara's goal, right? You're just like making his goal Che Guevara, like you're making the same goal.
All right.
What if all he wants is for black people to just be in a better place? Like you have to understand, maybe 20 years before this, Black Wall Street formed. Black people were becoming just as wealthy as their white counterparts in a very small number, but it was happening. And that was all good. And that could have just stopped. That doesn't turn into communism. He just wanted that back. So then, like, where do you go from there, right? Because that happened, I think it's called some kind of massacre. But then Martin, Malcolm, and then these guys. So if he just wants that back, that's not communism.
I don't know what the fuck communism is. I don't know how it turns out bad for people. But what I do know is that when I watch that movie, when I do research on this guy, I think this guy's a great guy. Why would they ever want to kill this guy? And the only reason I could find why they would want to kill him is because that was a time where America was so afraid of communism.
You have the wrong perspective completely. Because then to say that is to say, well, actually, I guess to say
what were they afraid of happening then?
Well, what were they afraid of happening with Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King. It was when
Martin
Luther King was.
We'd have to say,
"We shall overcome, kumbaya, everything good." They didn't kill him.
Exactly.
When Martin Luther King started saying, "Hey, let's go into unions and start making people get equal wages," when it started becoming what? Communist ideals. They killed him right away.
But that's not communist ideals.
Is it not?
No. Look up that word before you
Communist?
throw that around. Equal rights is not communism.
So
if he's talking about poor people, because you have to remember, when there's poor people, there's still rich people. And if there's poor white people, there's still, you know what I mean? Like there's this poor people, all people together.
So do you think when I did research on this guy and they kept coming back to communist stuff, do you think it was just put out there to be like, that's just like a...
Bro, it's a new Nazi. It's being a Nazi now. It's the same thing.
Okay, communism, a political theory derived from Karl Marx, advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned and each person works and is paid according to their abilities and needs.
Yeah.
So
how is that communism? Like you're not thinking of it properly. Like think of it like today. Like there's a union that gets paid $10 an hour, and then there's a union I was telling you about where people get paid $32 an hour.
Yeah.
And that union wants to get paid the same. Is that communism? Think about it. He's talking about poorer people. He's talking about a sector of people not getting their right pay or like right wages or quality of life, and he wants it to be equal to these people. Is that now communism?
I think that's the idea. Yeah.
No, because I just put it in the union perspective. Apply it to the union. Is that communism?
Yeah. But if you have to overthrow the government to be like, so we can all pay the...
But you don't have to overthrow. His plan wasn't to overthrow the government. That's the thing. That's the whole thing. They keep going.
No, that's what they were worried about.
That's what they were worried about, but that's not what he was doing.
No, that's not what he was doing. That's not what anyone's doing, but it is what they're afraid of.
Yeah, exactly. They're afraid of him overthrowing it, but it has nothing to do with communism. That's their scapegoat in order to take him out.
That's a scapegoat. But he straight up was teaching.
He liked the idea of the revolution. I think he thought of Che Guevara the same way people think of him now. People who don't know him think of him now.
Yeah.
It's just like a revolutionary.
Yeah.
He changed shit, and that was it. They don't usually, like, Fred Hampton's not thinking about the fact that he was racist. Like, does he know about the quotes about, black people not bathing and shit that we brought up? All he knows is the good parts of which he likes.
Fred Hampton, listen to our episode on Che Guevara in heaven. Because that's where he is, because he's a great guy. Right. He honestly, I hate to start off the show like this, like all this communist stuff, but all I'm saying is this is pros and conquerors, the bad boys of history. And when we have to look for cons, the con in this one is communism.
Well, it's that, but like we just said, that's the scapegoat that they were using. Yeah. But he wasn't trying to make, actually, because I was going to say he wasn't trying to make a party, but that was a party. He was
about politics, and he was straight. Yeah. We're going to get into it, but when he, in the movie and in real life, when he started getting all the Rainbow Coalition together, the gangs, he was teaching them Marxist-Leninism, whatever, however you say it. He was teaching them.
You just say Marxism. The Lenin's like just assumed.
That okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into this guy, because he was on to great ideas and helping out the community.
The only reason I say it's the wrong thing is because it's like Martin Luther King got killed, Malcolm gets killed, a couple other people who didn't get to the same kind of rise gets killed, Huey Newton gets put in jail, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, the thing is, this is communism. But it's all black guys who are like trying to rise up and bring black people along with them. So to say that that's communism is crazy.
But
and then when you say that J. Edgar Hoover, I might be skipping ahead, but when you see that J. Edgar Hoover actually had it installed about black people, a black revolution.
Yeah, it was the most dangerous thing.
It had nothing to do with communism. It makes no sense for someone to assume that if black people get into power, they're gonna also become communists.
Okay,
you don't see signs of that like anywhere in the world.
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, they all got killed within 1 year of them bringing in more different groups,
white people,
than just black
when
people.
When they start bringing in white people, that's when things,
because then it becomes a real
same with Tupac,
threat of a revolution.
Same with Tupac. Same with XXXTentacion. Same with so many people. As soon as they reach out to the white people, it's a problem.
As soon as you touch our white hearts,
right? You can even say that about Eminem too.
So we'll be more careful with the word communism, because I don't even know what it means. I don't even know why it's dangerous. I don't know why.
You sound like a commie right now.
Do I? I'm just saying that's the only.
That's what they used to say back in the day. What are you, a
only
commie?
Okay. So, Fred, I love the movie. I am a revolutionary.
Are you talking to Fred Hampton right now?
I love the movie. But the only thing is, the guy had such an amazing life that it's like it zoomed in on a year or two of his life. Man, this guy at 10 years old,
that's weird.
He started running Breakfast Club. Like, same way in the movie he had it through the Black Panther Party. He used to do that in his own community. He would cook breakfast for a bunch of poor kids and make sure everyone gets fed.
What? Why doesn't that happen now?
How do you know it doesn't happen now?
Like, where does that happen? Because there's social media, you'd see it. You'd for sure see it.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, why doesn't that happen anymore?
If they're too broke to afford food, maybe they're too broke to afford Instagram.
No.
And it's not ending up on social media.
But I mean the person who's doing it, though. I don't
know.
Like, why is that a problem to do anymore?
To feed your neighbors?
Yeah, I
don't think it is. I think
we just
there's
saw
people doing it.
No, we just saw a post. Well, I shouldn't say we, but we know a guy who just posted something. And it's like a bunch of cops surrounding all this food because people wanted to redistribute it to the neighborhood. And the cops were like, no, we're not letting that happen. That's weird. It was tons of food.
Yeah.
So what's going on? I don't know. It's weird.
What's up with you cops?
Bro, I was watching the movie. I'm in the spirit.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking around anymore. You want to start a breakfast program or what? No. What? It's February. You just said no just like that?
Is breakfast only for black people?
Yes, it's just for black kids. You want to be a part of it or not?
Breakfast is the blackest meal of the day. No, I would definitely. I don't know.
Why is that true?
I don't know. I don't know, because it's the most important meal of the day.
Holy fuck!
Now, I would definitely like to feed hungry people every morning, though. I don't know about that.
We'll rotate. I'll do one morning, you do another.
Once a week, I'll do.
Once a week, okay. I got you in for once a week then.
Let's get it. Yeah, we'll rotate a couple guys.
I got you in for once a week.
So yeah, 10 years old. This is also where they say, like, the foundation of that whole idea of the Black Panther Party providing a free breakfast for everyone. Like, he thought of this 10 years before he became the chairman of the Black Panther Party, but he was already doing it on a small scale in his own community. Yeah. Now, in high school, he started organizing walkouts for more black teachers. So he would get all the students to walk out to be like, hey, we need more black teachers around here.
Really?
Yeah.
And it worked?
Who knows if it worked?
That's the weird thing. Like,
they tried, though. That's the important thing.
But I heard some other stuff that he actually did, he affected some kind of law in his community when he's really young. Like, how did he do that?
Let's say that he got at least a couple teachers in.
Like, why can't we do that? Like, don't you want to change a law or two?
What law would you want to change?
I don't know.
Jaywalking?
You know what? Smoking weed and driving.
Yeah.
Lift that one for me, buddy. Just that one.
It should be.
Oh, sorry. Something with black people. I'm sorry. No. Murdering black people. I'll take that one. Sorry. But smoking weed and driving? Come on. That's nice.
Smoking weed and driving, I would say, would be a good one. And but you should have to pass a test. Like, not everyone can smoke weed and drive.
Okay. You got it.
But if you get high and then do your driving test and they're like, this guy can drive high. This guy's a great driver.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, he's a high class.
You get a high G. Sick.
Anyways, here's where the may or may not be communist ideas happened.
Oh, here we go again. They try to taint us.
Because in 1966, in the midst of the Vietnam War, he started identifying as a socialist, communist, and people like Che Guevara, Ho Chi Minh, and Marxism. He started like reading up on them and being like, "Yo, this communist shit is lit," and this is when Hampton not only urged for peace in Vietnam, but he also wanted a Vietnam victory. And this is 1966, so he was only like
peace there, and he wanted
Vietnam to win, and America to lose.
And they did.
So,
oh my God, he actually. Okay, now I get why they killed him. He had power. He had real power. He's like, I want y'all to lose, and they were like, this nigga might have got us killed right now.
he was 18 years old.
They lost.
And he started talking that shit.
They lost bad.
Started talking that shit. Said communist is cool. Death to America. He didn't say death to America, but he basically wanted America to pack up and leave Vietnam alone.
True. But who's Ho Chi Minh?
That was like I think he's the Chinese revolutionary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the guy that started. So pretty much all these guys that started communism in their own country.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
So when I say that this guy was a threat of communism,
but you're saying communism, but what if he was just a fan of revolution?
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
And I am
because you got to think of it. One day we're gonna do some Celtic shit. We're gonna do some Irish shit, and it's gonna seem like they're communist. You're gonna be able to blanket them like that, and it's gonna be because they want to just be in line with the British people.
It is better to be able to just say we kill or he's communist. That's why he's who knows if any of this stuff is even true now.
That's what I was thinking as I was watching.
No, but I'm telling you, when I looked for pros and cons on Fred Hampton, the pros were overwhelming. The cons were nothing there. Nothing. Nothing other than his fascination with communism.
Yeah. He didn't get to live long enough.
No.
That's what it is, basically.
But you can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution.
I love that that's all they hear upstairs.
Yeah.
They're like, this black guy comes by, and I don't know, he just changes.
Yo. Shout out to, what's the guy that played him in the movie? Daniel.
Oh, I can't even reach for my phone. I'm not sure. You should get his name though. He fucking did a great job.
Great job.
Bro, did he get darker for that role?
I don't know, but Fred Hampton wasn't as dark as him.
Yeah, no, he was purple dark.
Damn.
But he should be. That's how you depict. If you're gonna depict Fred Hampton, you depict him as dark as possible. Because that's some shit right there.
What's this guy's name? Daniel.
British guy too, eh?
Is he British?
Yeah, man. Bro, that dude has a British accent.
A lot of the same guys from Get Out are in this movie.
Yeah. That's how.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
Or
this guy said Kaluuya.
How do you say that name?
You're gonna put me on the spot. I'm black. I'll say it. Daniel Kayu. No, it's Kaluuya.
Fair enough.
Lakeith.
It was a great movie though, and I don't even remember what I was talking about now.
I don't remember either. We were talking about. I got too high.
He did a great job playing him.
Yeah. You were talking about just that guy. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah. So
shout out to everybody.
All of this stuff that I've said so far wasn't included in the movie because the movie pretty much focuses on his role as the chairman of the Black Panther Party, Illinois. My name Fred Hampton, Illinois Black Panther Party.
Fred Hampton, Black Panther Party, Illinois.
Love that guy. Great job. When you watch Fred Hampton interviews, he does a great job of his.
Yeah. So. Like he did it to the point. Like I remember watching a Fred Hampton interview, and I had to kind of focus in on what he was saying just because of that accent. It's so fucking thick.
Yeah,
and he did a good. Like I couldn't understand some parts of the movie. I would have to focus in.
The accent sounds like a little South, but he's Chicago.
Yeah, you know what? Dudes from Chicago, like to us, they kind of sound like that. They kind of sound like they're Southern. If you hear some dudes from Chicago. Chief Keef
love salsa. And I know it.
Well, I knew a crackhead.
My name Chief Keef.
I knew a crackhead who was from Chicago, and he'd be like, "Hey, baby, what's going on? Oh, ain't nothing, young blood. What's going on with you?" So he sounded kind of Southern, but he was straight from Chicago. Shout out to that crackhead. He taught me how to roof.
Huh?
He taught me how to roof, how to do roofing. He was the greatest roofer ever, and we do a job together, and then he disappeared for 2 weeks, go on a crack binge.
Nice.
They find him in a dumpster somewhere.
He just needed enough money to get that next hit.
That was it.
Get that rock.
He would go all out.
All right. Anyway, so I think I left off. Okay, so Vietnam was happening. He's like, "Death to America."
You were saying yes. You were saying "Death to America," and each one of these guys that had communist ideas.
Yeah, he was fucking with.
Yeah,
he was into it. Now in around this time, he joined the NAACP. And he was a youth leader. And in his small community, he actually got a group of 500 people together and started like a little youth organization, got some more rec centers. He got more educational resources. So this is where he actually started getting like little changes in the community, like let's get this, let's get that. Now in 1967, they had a community pool that was whites only.
Ooh.
Instead of fighting for integration of that pool,
he pissed in it. Bang! What's up?
No.
You want to play games? We got games too.
His idea was actually, you guys can have your pool. We want a new pool, but white people can swim there too, but this one's going to be black people as well. So he just wanted a new pool, and he's like, we won't even restrict anyone from coming in this one. Now,
wow,
seems like a reasonable idea, but when the mayor or whatever, the sheriff, they weren't down with the idea.
The sheriff?
Well, the only reason I bring up the sheriff is because one of the stories is, so in 1967, he got 100 people out on the street to start protesting, like doing like a little protest for this new pool. Yeah. And the sheriff heard about it, and within like, before the protest could even really get started, they just unleashed hell on them. They just beat the fuck out of like all these protesters. And this is Fred Hampton's first arrest.
Wow.
So he, for organizing that thing, they beat him up. But this is also when Fred Hampton realized black people need to defend themselves. And he's like, fucking get off the NWACP and get onto the BPP. My name's Fred Hampton of the Illinois Black Panther Party.
True. Yeah, because Black Panthers were already established. So he just went from,
67 is when he decides to make that switch from, he got beat up by the cops and he's like, we need guns.
Yeah. He's like, do you guys have guns? Any of you guys have guns?
So he was, and he was a very smart guy. I think we could tell that already, but aside from doing well in high school, he also did a lot of like law, learning like laws and stuff, so that he saw police brutality happening and he wanted to be able to argue black people's side in court, argue what you're allowed to protect yourself, how you're allowed to do it, what is legal. So he kind of figured all that stuff out, which was important later on when he joined the Black Panthers, obviously.
Man, that's important for everybody, like even today.
I know.
Just to know what you
smoking
can
and
say.
driving.
Yeah,
I want to know what I should be doing, and apparently it's don't smoke and drive.
Yeah. No, I never do. It's not a good thing to do.
Yeah, no, it is good to, if you get pulled over, to know like what your rights are, and I don't know them.
I have no idea.
I know about as much as my rights as I know about communism.
I know that when you're black and you have a voice as white as mine, you tend to get off.
Driving while black.
You get off. You get off because they're just like, this is a good one.
Yeah.
I can't crack this nigger's head open. He's far too nice.
Yeah, I love this guy's lingo.
Jam Easy's so black he can't even do a white impression. You hear that?
That wasn't a good white impression?
His lingo.
So even before even before he joined the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton of the Illinois Black Panther Party, he was on the cops' radar. He was on the FBI radar because they saw him getting youth together. This is like when he was 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Doing these like little protests in the streets, getting new rec centers, getting new educational stuff. All sounds like nice things. But when you're trying to bring the community together, they see a black voice doing it, and they're like, we better tap this guy's phone.
Right away.
Figure out what his plans are.
Jesus.
I don't know how they found out about his thoughts on Vietnam as an 18-year-old kid, like why they were focused on him so much, but they knew about it and they didn't like it.
Yeah, that is weird. Why were they focused on? I guess because they were focusing on black people. That kind of shows that they were focusing on black people.
Well, it was after this the pool fiasco here, where they got beat by the cops in the street, that they saw that Fred Hampton was the leader of this movement, and the FBI opened a file on him, and they tapped his mother's phone in 1968, and they and placed Hampton on the Bureau's agitator index and a key militant leader.
Wow. And
this is before he even became chairman of the Black Panther Party, Illinois. So
that's wild. So wild.
So that's all. He already had his phone tapped. FBI was already watching him, and now this is when 1968 he formed the Illinois Black Panther Party and started his free breakfast program. And the FBI tried to shut it down for brainwashing. When they saw him become chairman of the Black Panther Party in Illinois, I can't help but say it because I love the guy's voice in it. They thought he's feeding these kids breakfast in the morning and he's giving them these crazy ideas.
Mm-hmm. True.
They actually tried to shut down a fucking feeding kids breakfast program for brainwashing.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I wonder if like I did that or we did that right now, if they would like shut it down for some odd reason.
They would have video of this guy feeding kids, and basically it's like like telling them like, I'll learn today. I'll be, you know what I mean? Like, like not saying anything crazy like I'm gonna overthrow the government. Not giving them these like I'm gonna defend myself against cops. Like he wasn't giving little kids like that info. Even though I'm sure if they stuck around till they're 18, he's gonna start teaching them more.
Of course.
But just the fact that he's making, I guess, the Black Panther, what do you call it? The compound, a place to be for kids. I think that alone was like, they're like, oh, we got to shut this down.
Well, because he's like, everybody knows that if you control the media or if you control the kids, you control the future. So if you're sitting there, I
believe the children are the future.
There you go.
Whose song is that? MJ?
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, you put that on MJ like that? Why you gotta put that on MJ like that?
Maybe it's not him. I don't know.
The kid's song has to be MJ? Fuck.
Yeah, the children are the future in my bed. No, we've already talked about this. Michael Jackson didn't do it.
I see where you're coming from with that. I definitely do.
So yeah, you can tell FBI, they had his phone tapped. Like this is all way before he could even really make ripples with the Black Panther Party, Illinois.
It's true.
Now, what was the scary thing? I bet for the government and for the FBI was, aside from brainwashing the kids with a breakfast in the morning, he fought for unity amongst different gangs in the neighborhood.
Yes,
or in Chicago.
Yes.
So doesn't matter, black gangs, Spanish gangs, white gangs. In the movie and in real life, like he would go to these places that are like white power, Confederate flags, and he was such a charismatic, good speaker and had all these great ideas to say like, let's lift everyone up at once. Let's lift the whole poor community up at once.
Yeah.
Something like communism? No. No, but basically, yeah. So the fact that he started bringing all these different gangs together, that wasn't like something that Black Panther parties were doing anywhere else other than the Black Panther Party in Illinois. Because you think about Chicago gangs and stuff to this day.
Yeah.
Imagine that he organized peace in the 60s, and if Fred Hampton lived, who knows, maybe there would have been way less gang violence to this day. Like most likely would have been, because he was a great leader, and he was 21 years old. He got all these guys to be like, yo, let's stop killing each other and start killing it in life.
Yeah, exactly. He started like a giant men's group where everybody was just like, yo, let's be better.
I saw him giving the actual Fred Hampton, not in the movie, but giving a speech to a very diverse crowd, Spanish, white, black, and just being like, black power to black people, white power to white people, and brown power to brown people, yellow power to yellow people. When you think about, to this day, the idea of saying white power is a
like it's a bad thing. Yeah, horrible.
The fact that this guy was there saying, everyone get your power, like, well, I'm here. Okay, you see people still upset about the idea of hearing Black Lives Matter. Oh, but all lives matter. Like people fight over that. That's what they want. The people that are the elites that are above us, they want us to be fighting over what to call this, what to call that.
100%.
When the fucking whole idea is as simple as, let's not kill black people and get away with it, cops.
Yeah.
So if we just focused on that instead of being like, oh, let's argue about what to call it. Like, come on.
It's true. And he probably would have been one of those guys that would have been one of those guys that today, right now, kind of gets shat on, because he'd probably be like, Black lives do matter. And then he'd probably be like, and there was some white guy down the street, he just got shot by a police officer for no reason too. And his white life matters. Oh, he'd probably be like, then this yellow guy got murdered for no reason. His life matters. He probably would have been like kind of like that.
When you see these people on Instagram, they'll be like, oh, this person got murdered. Why aren't we having a parade for him? Fred Hampton was alive. He'd probably be like, we're going to do a parade for everyone just to make a point out of it.
Yeah.
To be like, we're all in this together.
100%.
They want us fighting, man. They want us fighting.
Of course. You can see it very clearly.
I don't know who they are, but I know what they want.
Yeah,
they want us to hate each other.
Pretty much, man, because that's all you see. I mean, because even a big thing to highlight in the movie, another spoiler alert, is like when they meet up with that other gang,
Yeah.
And the shit that they're boasting about is how many people they fed. Because Fred Hampton's like, yo, we fed this many people.
Yeah.
He's like, nigga, we fed this many people. More people than anybody. And like, you know what I mean? They were like bigging that up. That was like their shit.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if gangs started like caring about that more than like jewelry and busting guns and shit.
I think initially that is, you want to help your people out. You know, right. I want to make a better life for me and mine. Like, I come from a broke background. I want to make a better life for myself and my family.
Yeah, exactly.
So it all does stem from that in the beginning, you know. What it turns into, who knows, man. But yeah, so this is when he formed the Rainbow Coalition, got all the gangs together. Rainbow Coalition, I've heard that before too, and I didn't know like it was him behind it. But if you Google Rainbow Coalition, it'll come up and it'll put brackets Fred Hampton. Like, that was like his thing. Like, I'm gonna start a Rainbow Coalition. My name's Fred Hampton, you know, Black Panther Party. I start saying faster and faster.
How soon after he did that did he get killed? How soon after he formed that?
Within a year.
Malcolm X. What happened with him as soon as he formed that other thing?
That's what I'm telling you. So when
Martin Luther King didn't form anything,
but Martin Luther King started shifting his ideas from okay, let's just get black people equal rights to let's get, and that's when they kill you.
Yeah.
When you start talking about let's get everyone in together on this, that's when they kill you. Fuck.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that so weird? That's so weird.
So when he brought this Rainbow Coalition together and he would give these speeches, this is when he brought in Marxism to these groups. He started emphasizing the need to overthrow capitalism and the necessity for class unity. Class unity, which is
unity. But how would he get class unity amongst the poor people? Unless you see each race as a class.
I don't know then.
Because that's the only thing. It's like, unless he had the ear of like wealthier people, but I don't think he did. Like, do you think he did?
I think that was the point of a political movement. I think he was
trying to get there,
aiming to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, because he only had the ear of the poor people, and it's like the poor of the poor people, not the little bit poor, like ghetto poor people.
Man, when he started this up in a year, growing the Black Panther Party, he grew the Black Panther Party from a dozen to hundreds within a year. He got all these gangs together within a year. That's so cool. He did all this stuff within a year. Imagine what he was thinking. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm actually getting this done. Like, we're making a move right now.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Man, stifled out.
Imagine him and Malcolm X met. Like, imagine they actually.
What year did Malcolm X dead?
He was already dead when this was going on.
Okay. So it was before 68. Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck. Imagine they actually met each other. Whew. What would happen? Jesus.
Yeah, man. He definitely. Oh my God. He would have. They would have been. I wonder who would have opened for who if they're giving a speech. You know what I mean? They're both giving a nice speech.
Damn, who would open for who? That's a hard one.
Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, Malcolm X. You got a host, you got an opener, and you got a closer.
I think. Oh, who would be who?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's tough, eh?
I'm gonna say Fred Hampton's the closer.
Closer. Wow, young gun.
Because he's gonna leave people going crazy. We're gonna bring Martin in first because he's gonna bring everybody in.
Yeah,
gonna get everybody nice and warmed up. Malcolm's gonna hit him with that aggressive shit in the middle, and then Hampton just brings them on up through the end.
Brings everyone together at the end.
That's it.
We're gonna bring on a young voice.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, he comes out. Oh my God, he was great. So yeah. While he was growing this Black Panther Party from a small group of a dozen to hundreds, unfortunately, one of those hundreds was William O'Neill, the FBI informant.
Jeez.
In Judas and the Black Messiah, but also in real life. And Judas. So the real guy, William O'Neill, after... Fuck. Should I bounce around?
Well, are you talking about the actor that played him?
Okay, I'll say first of all, the actor that played him, what a great job he did in that role. The pain on his face when he was, you could see like he really embodied it. Yeah, he actually had to go to therapy after this.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh, you heard about that?
I heard that. It's fucked.
And I could see it like when you watch the pain on his face. Yeah, whatever he had to put himself through mentally, it looks tough.
Yeah, man. And also like me myself thinking about Fred Hampton, what he could have done, and then the reasons they're taking him out and everything. I even teared up. So imagine you're like an actor and you're all fucking into that kind of world and you're getting into that character and you know you're the guy who's gonna like fuck him over royally and fuck over the black race indefinitely.
Yeah.
For Lord knows how long. It sets them back. Fuck.
So that guy, I saw him in an interview basically being like, he's like, I was a part of the struggle too. Like he didn't realize like, how he was gonna screw over like Fred Hampton. Like he liked Fred Hampton and stuff, but
of course
he was just trying to get it. He was trying to save his own ass basically. So yeah, he got caught stealing a car. The FBI took him in as an informant, made him infiltrate the Black Panther Party. But you got to think about this, man. That William O'Neill guy, he was only like a kid too. He was like 17, 18 when he joined. And within a year, he gained everyone's trust. He actually became what's his name? Fred Hampton's bodyguard.
Yeah.
He was that close to him within a year. So,
because
pretty good job by him. Being a pretty good job being a CI.
Pretty good job, but at the same time, you got to look and like they were all kids. So shout out to black people. That was a bunch of black kids just running around being like, "Yo, let's try and get some shit done."
Yeah.
Yo, that's so weird to think of what they're doing now. And I know there's a little sector of black kids probably doing great things, but in a whole, from what we see to what they're doing now to what they were doing back then at that age.
Well, that William O'Neill guy, he actually went into. Okay, I'll bounce ahead for a second just to say this. So we obviously know, if you watch the movie or if you know about Fred Hampton, William O'Neill was technically like his downfall in the end. Like he kind of set him up to get the police raid, which ended up in his murder. Now,
Judas.
After that, he went into he actually like somehow he still stayed around in the Black Panther Party for another year or two, but then I think he went into witness protection program. So he went into there for about 20 years, and then they released this documentary about Fred Hampton, and he after being like in hiding for at least 15 years, almost 20, they did an interview with him. This is his first time being seen in years.
Wait, when?
William O'Neill.
When did it happen? When did he do this interview? Recently?
Late 80s.
Oh, late 80s. Is he dead?
He killed himself the day the documentary came out.
This doc? Oh, the doc that he did the interview. Oh, he killed himself.
In the 80s. So in that, I'll show you the interview after, but basically he's trying to like justify like, oh, I was a part of the struggle. Like I didn't really like know what I was doing. Like I was a kid too. But he must have lived with that pain so long that once he saw himself actually talk about it and watch the documentary as a whole and see like how bad he fucked over Fred, he killed himself the same day it came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, man.
Damn, that's crazy. Part of me thinks like there was a little small room where there were some black people with natural hair, and they were like, "You gonna do it to yourself, nigga? Go ahead and do it to yourself."
You think?
Nigga. Yeah, I think so. The same way I don't think Epstein fucking choked himself with some paper towel. I don't think that guy killed himself. I think they were like, as soon as he was on the radar, it was like blip, and they were like, "Oh, there he is."
You better,
because there's still Black Panthers out there. They're not fucking around. They're still out there.
There's still Fred Hampton Jr.
Is there a junior? Fred
Hampton Jr. So when Fred Hampton got murdered, his wife was pregnant. They shot him in his bed with his pregnant wife right there.
Yeah.
When his son in 1993, when Rodney King got beat up, Fred Hampton Jr. got arrested for blowing up a Korean grocery store.
What the fuck?
Remember when all the rioting was happening?
Yeah.
So
he was just like one of the people.
He says he got framed. But basically, he was in the Black Panthers, and he was still in the 90s. Like he was a very active member.
Wow, that's crazy. Where is he now?
He's still alive.
Is he?
Yeah.
Fuck, I gotta interview that guy.
Fred Hampton Jr. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I gotta talk to that guy one day. That's crazy. Yo. A side note. You know what happened when they killed him? Because you're talking about the hotel room. You know what they actually? What they say? Somebody recounts the story. And they're like, they shot him a bunch of times, and they're like, he might make it. The police were like, he might make it. He seems like he's holding on. And then they shot him a bunch more, and then they're like, he's good and dead.
Yeah, his wife. So his wife and the mother of his kids, like I saw her in an interview, basically being like, So they shot the room down like crazy. They said, "Oh, there's a pregnant woman in here. Chill."
Yeah.
So she got up, she walked out, and she heard them say, "Yeah, he's still alive." And then boom, boom, boom. He's good and dead now. Yeah. That's what she said. She heard him say, "He's good and dead now."
That's fucked.
before he died. Like we bounced ahead there for a second, just talking about all that murder stuff. But the only other thing that Fred Hampton got in trouble for in his life was the stealing ice cream bars, which sounded very suspicious. But basically, the witness said, what did the witness say? So they said they saw a guy the ice cream man was selling ice cream by a playground when a group of older teens demanded free ice cream. Moments later, Fred Hampton jumped out of a car, jumped into the ice cream truck, and held him down while the crew unloaded ice cream into the Black Panther vehicle. So that's what they got him for. But obviously, he said it was bullshit, and the trial wasn't fair. And
$71, worth of ice cream,
which in the '60s was probably a ton of ice cream.
He's 710 bars. That's what it was.
10 cents, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, basically, that's what they said. They were like, it was he was like, because Fred Hampton's response was like, "I'm a big motherfucker, but I can't eat that much ice cream."
A lot of kids got free ice cream for this sham of an arrest. The cops set this up, and they're just like, "Well, kids got free ice cream at least." Now, yeah. So we'll basically, okay. So he was in jail for a little bit for that, but. This is all within a year. Like, this all happened within a year. So he must not have been in jail for that long, because by the time he got out, now the police were ready to raid his house. Like, basically,
crazy.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just tough because who knows what? It's another life gone too soon.
Yeah, man. Way too soon, because you just never know.
And that whole so William O'Neill, Wild Bill, he basically set Fred Hampton up. Well, he gave the cops what they need to get a warrant. Said where the weapons are. They show up to the house. They raid it. It was a straight up murder. Yeah. They went there intending to murder him. They didn't go there to arrest him. They went there and they just started firing like crazy. Now the cops' account was that Black Panther started shooting at them. They said, ceasefire, please. Guys, we didn't come here to shoot anyone. This is what the cops say that their account was, right? Oh, we didn't come here to shoot anyone. And then after like 3 or 4 times of saying ceasefire and them not listening, then they started shooting. Damn. Now, the evidence was overwhelming in the opposite direction, because when basically an independent investigator, like an investigative journalist, when he looked at the crime scene, it showed that there was 99 shots going one way and only 1 shot going back the other way. So the Black Panthers only shot once, and they shot straight up 99 times back the other way. When the cops tried to cover it up to say like, "Oh, look at this bullet hole going here and that there," like to show the public in the newspapers. When the investigative journalist went, he's like, the places that they marked as bullet holes going out for the Black Panthers were actually just like nails in the wall. Like he like took a zoomed in picture and he's like, "That's not a bullet hole. That's not a bullet hole." Wow. All these ones that they were trying to say, look at how much they were shooting at us, though. That's fine. It was all bullshit.
That's crazy. As somebody, like, I'm like pro, like I've never been like pro, like abolish the police or anything. Yeah. But goddamn, their history is fucking really fucked up. Like, I think back to like there was a point where this New York City police commissioner or boss was like, "You guys gotta respect us." He was really upset. It's when all this political shit was going on, and it's like, goddamn. Like, and he was old. He was old enough to like remember this.
This is like last year.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
I was like, God damn, their history is fucked up though.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's bad, man. Yeah. So, the only good thing that came out of that is, some of the families in Fred Hampton's family, they got between 3 families, they split $1.8 million because it was him. One other guy got shot, and I think.
Oh, so they were like rewarded money, like at that time for.
So that? In a civil suit, so it was a wrongful death. Like it was when that investigative journalist like broke it down and everything, and it was so clear that it was a murder. Yeah, it was just overwhelming. Like it was like they didn't even try to arrest this guy. They just went there and unleashed fire on his house.
That's fucked.
And the real fucked up thing is heartless FBI. So when William O'Neill gave him the blueprint of the house, like he showed, this is where he sleeps in bed with his pregnant wife. That's the room that they unloaded gunfire into.
Yeah, of course.
Knowing that there's a pregnant woman in there. It's actually a miracle that she got out alive, because the way they unloaded gunshot in there, I don't know how she got out, man.
Yeah. The only way she could get out if he covered her. That'd be the only real way.
But he was knocked out because of the thing.
Yeah, because of the drug.
He got drugged, so I don't even know if he was alert enough to cover anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's fucked.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy the extent they'll go to. It kind of makes me rethink the line that Jay-Z has in one of his songs. He says, they gave. He says it very clearly. They gave Ali the shakes. Like it's just a weird bar that he has. He says they gave it to him.
Wow.
More so than like
That's
he just got a disease.
Weird
what they'll do, man.
And just to circle back on, remember that pool that he was fighting for in the mid '60s? Well, after he died in 1970, they got that pool.
Who got it?
The community.
Oh yeah.
That he was. Yeah.
So they're like, here's a pool.
Yeah. We'll name it after Dead Fred.
God damn.
Yeah, and then 1,300 black kids drown in that pool because black people can't swim. That's been pros of Conquerors. No, imagine that's where you end it. No, everyone had fun.
Bro, that was back when black people could swim, bro.
Yeah,
yeah.
Didn't have as dense bones back then.
No, you guys took the water from us. That's what happened. You guys started boarding up all the pools.
Oh yeah.
We couldn't learn to swim.
Ooh,
that's what happened. That's why motherfuckers from Jamaica can't swim. Because all the rich people own all the fucking places where there's water and shit.
Well, there is ocean.
No, you can't get there like you think.
No,
bro. You gotta be somebody.
Well,
it's like you coming to my like neighborhood. You know, you can't. You know, it's high class neighborhood, bro.
True.
What can I say, right? It's a lot of Jewish people.
I don't belong there. Yeah, so overall, man, this guy, what an amazing life. What a life gone too soon.
And I was going to say, any statues of this guy? I wonder.
Let's see.
That'd be something. That would be a statue that I wouldn't mind visiting, quite honestly.
Let's see.
Pros and cons. Bro, you got a wild search history, bro.
This is Fred Hampton Memorial, yeah.
Wow, there really is. Sick.
Where is it?
Are all of them just of his bust like that? Because they shot him so many goddamn times? That's all they could salvage?
Bust that shit. Yeah, it's he can't, where does it say it is?
So Jay-Z was born 1969, December 4th.
So this actually is pretty recent. It got dedicated to him in December 17th, 2006. And the quote on his plaque is, "If I leave, I'll be back. And when I do come back, I'll be back to stay and join the revolution."
Wow. And then
Fred Hampton, Illinois Black Panther Party.
And literally, as he was getting shot, Jay-Z was being born. That's the thing that happened. Isn't that weird?
So December 4th, 1969, same day?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
Good fun fact.
Jay-Z says it in a bar just to let us know who he is.
I'm born when Fred Hampton died.
He's like, I was born on the day Fred Hampton died. Real niggas just multiply.
But Jay-Z's a capitalist.
I know.
Well,
you know what? He seems like he's working within the capitalist system heavily because he's a fucking billionaire. But it seems like the things that he says in song about like having to get inside and be inside in order to change properly, he seems like he's doing it.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Fair enough.
Like, I mean, he did it in the NFL a little bit. Like, he's doing his thing. I guess activists have to be different nowadays. If you just come out like, hey, man, I just want to feed these kids, they're just like, what'd you just say? Huh? How many kids? You're just like, just 100. They shoot you 99 times.
Fucking, yeah, man. So, obviously, you look at this guy's life and you're like, God damn, they killed a good, like, a hero.
Yeah,
and for what some may say because they were afraid of communism, some may say because they hate black people.
Well, Hoover said it was because of black people.
He didn't ever want to like think about somebody, his daughter bringing home a black man.
Yeah, but you know what? Your daughter's last name was Hoover, buddy. Okay. Giving Glucks 9000s, bro.
I wonder what J. Edgar Hoover's granddaughter's doing right now.
I hope she has braids. I hope she has cornrows. She hangs out with guys named Donnell. I hope she has sex with Donnell Rawlings from the Chappelle Show.
Oh yeah.
I hope she has sex with him.
Let's see.
With braids that are too tight and they itch all the time.
J. Edgar Hoover's granddaughter? No, nothing came up. Oh, there she is. She's cute.
Aw, don't bring up the kid. Aw, she's cute. Aw. A nice girl. She doesn't know her grandfather's a monster.
She doesn't know.
She has no idea.
It's also crazy that, well, this is a little side note. What? So, back in the day, J. Edgar Hoover, Nixon, right?
Yep.
And they say that J. Edgar Hoover had like intel on Nixon that would make him like do whatever he wants because he had intel on him. But then they say that Al Capone had intel on J. Edgar Hoover, which made him do whatever he wants. Now, where was Al Capone from? Chicago. So
what the fuck? That's weird.
If Al Capone saw somebody unionizing gangs in his city.
But where was Al Capone at that time? He might have been dead by then. Because I know Al Capone died in jail of I think of syphilis. I think he had syphilis and the guards wouldn't treat him because they were just like, fuck this guy.
I thought he got out.
No, I think he died.
They made a movie about it recently.
I think he went crazy in there.
And then they let him out because they're
really?
Good Lord. Oh no, he died way before.
Yeah. He was
so how the fuck did he? How is J. Edgar Hoover in his pocket?
Oh, J. Edgar Hoover's been around for a minute.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing about like these organizations. They outlast everybody.
I tried to have a fucking sick side theory,
brother. No, that's solid actually. Because if he did have that, that's weird to have.
Either way, the Chicago crime family had info on
that. Yeah, Capone had information on Hoover because when Hoover first got when Hoover was young, he didn't just start as the head of the FBI or whatever.
Yeah,
he was like a agent at first.
Okay.
And that's how Capone got info on him. And then as
I think he had like pictures of him in dress or something.
Some shit like that. And then as he moved up, Capone also moved up in his rankings, and he always had that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they probably both helped each other push each other up.
Hey, I'll never call Capone somebody who cooperated in any kind of way.
No?
No,
I think he might have ran him. I think he had the pictures on him, right?
You think so?
Dress. Let's see. J. Edgar Hoover in a dress. That should be the picture of this episode.
This guy looks just like Andy. Or Andrew, sorry.
Andres. I don't know.
Tar Baby.
Huh?
Your searches are wild.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's not like a movie poster.
This is J. Edgar or...
Oh, I thought that was a dress. I was like, oh, okay.
There's supposed to be a picture of him in a dress.
Bro, oh my God, that might be him. But either way, Capone had info on him because when they were coming up, Capone was the man and that guy was just like a runt still.
Yeah.
And Capone was a straight up murderer. Like as this guy was like a pussy little agent, Capone was just a fucking muscle man murderer. So eventually, because Capone was a right-hand man to the guy who ran Chicago, so eventually he probably got info on that guy and that's how he got it.
And Capone was probably a capitalist.
Capone was I don't think he was a capitalist at all. He was a savage. Like
classy, bougie, and ratchet.
Yeah, I don't think that those guys capitalism. They don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. It's just that's mine, and you'll die if you have to. I can kill you if you want, or we can just work together.
I feel like we need to do a Capone episode too.
Capone is the man. He's amazing, man.
Tom Hardy plays him in a movie, the old Capone. So I guess he tries to. This is when he fakes go crazy. Yeah. They allege that he might have just faked crazy to get out of jail.
Oh,
but
true.
I gotta watch that movie. I think it's on Amazon Prime. So
we
check
should
it out.
Do that. We should do that. But let's stop talking about this white guy.
Yeah. Fuck that white devil.
Right. We're talking about a king right now, man. Mr. Hampton.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Dr. Hampton.
So he has a bust. I say don't tear it down. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Please don't, man. I would actually be saddened to see some shit like that happen to someone like that.
What a great guy. Go watch his speeches. If you don't stop at the movie, go watch one of his actual speeches. Fucking great guy.
Yeah, because it's like I could see where some of the ideas get looked at as communist, but like the thing that I was listening to on the way here, it wasn't any of that. It was more like a rising up, because right now we can all, like, I think the poor people who are actually poor, not people who can like only get Starbucks a couple of days a week, but the actual poor people, I think we can all agree that if things got better for us, that would be better.
Yeah.
And I don't think that becomes communism. But I mean, what has to happen in order for that to happen? That's the weird.
You don't think it has to be communism, but if you read a bunch of books by communist guys and you read about all their revolutions and all these ones that became communist, and then you're like, hey, these ideas look great, I should do this in my country, then your government is going to be like, this guy's on some communist shit.
Well, yeah, well, I guess, but I'm just saying, like, if we all had to rise up, what has to happen in order for that to happen? If all of a sudden we have to take everything from everyone that's rich, that's not great. But
eat the rich.
But yeah, exactly, that whole thing, eat the rich. But maybe the ultra rich just stop manipulating us. They just don't get to do that anymore.
I know, just chill, guys.
Yeah, like maybe like just stuff like that. Like,
let's see.
Just leave us alone, or just somebody starts a business. It's a little bit easier.
Leave us alone.
Like, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. You want to register something. You want to incorporate something. It costs like almost $800. Maybe it shouldn't cost $800. Maybe you should be able to start a business a little easier.
Yeah, maybe just give us another pool for the black kids.
And just little things like that, right? Like, I don't know. I've always had, maybe I'll get murdered for this idea. But I've always had this idea of starting something called Cut the Curve. And it's for kids who were like me, who didn't have fathers. Because there's like a huge learning curve that comes up when you don't have one around. And I was always thinking of starting that and working with the Big Brother program in some way. And trying to make that happen for underprivileged kids. But maybe I'll get fucking shot if I do that.
Yeah, just
what the fuck?
You know what? If you're gonna do it, just do it black kids only. You try and bring white kids in, then they're gonna fuck you up.
Sorry, white kids.
Who is this guy trying to help white kids? Just have a white kid starving at the door. You're like, get out of here. They're gonna murder me if I feed you.
Just kick them away.
Nice. Yeah.
But no, I think I'm honestly got inspired by that. I don't know what I'll do. I know I've always wanted to start a men's group again, but I think we should all benefit from trying to do some shit like he was doing. Not overthrowing the government, but feeding people. I think feeding people is a good place to start.
Feeding the hungry.
Yeah.
And giving, blankets for the poor people and shit.
Yeah. And
grassroots.
And murdering all your enemies, I guess.
Yeah. Suck my dick to all my enemies. That's been another episode. No. This guy, honestly, one of my favorite guys I've researched. I'm happy that the movie came up to even make me think about, like,
straight up. It's
times like this, we see something like that come out. Okay, let's do a timely episode. Let's do a little more digging on this guy. And the more I found out about him, you could make another movie about this guy's life. Like, that was a great movie. But I'm just saying, like, they left out a good, like, 10 years of his life. Yeah. Because he started from 10 years old being a pillar in the community, a leader in the community at 10.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. And that's why when you hear about, wait a minute. He was the leader at 21. He was going into all these different gangs and bringing everyone together at 21. It's like, well, he started at 10. So he was way ahead of his time. Like,
true.
He was a revolutionary.
Yeah, he really was.
You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder a revolution.
Well, yeah, it's so true because I think Huey Newton said.
But did they murder the revolution?
Well, I mean, it depends how you look at it, right? Like when I look at the black elite class, I don't see much of them doing anything for anybody. But there is a few that seem like they're doing things on a big scale that are improving things. But is anybody really saying, I'm doing this for black people? I'm improving this for black people? I don't really see anybody doing that. Like, nobody. Like, BLM's not doing that. Like, no black people who are really rich or influential.
Where did the donations go, BLM? I've seen that a lot on Instagram lately. But where did the donations go? I don't know. I don't know what communism is. I don't know what Black Lives Matter is. I just think that cops should stop killing black people. And Fred Hampton was a fucking G.
Yeah, he was a straight up G. That's the best way to look at it at the end of the day, man. Because that was fucking some life, man. That really made me look at myself, and I'm like, yo, like this guy was doing that at 10.
What a waste of time we've been doing,
right? I'm like, I know I could have been doing something like that at least by 20. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, you ever been to a soup kitchen?
Have I been to one?
Yeah.
No.
That yawn was too long. You know that, right? That was disrespectful. And you were looking at me in my eye when you did it.
Where should I look when I yawn?
I don't know. Your eyes should be pointed down. It's February.
No. Speaking of which, so I look forward to...
Bro, you never been to a soup kitchen?
No. I said
never.
No.
Neither have I.
Should I?
You ever been to a homeless shelter?
I passed by.
You ever
like piss.
You ever help somebody out there?
Yeah.
I haven't.
I was like, here's a spliff. You want drugs?
See, this is a problem with white people. You understand? This is why we gotta.
Homeless people love drugs. One time I gave a guy a spliff, and he came back to me like 2 minutes later, and he's like, "Do you got any change?" I'm like, "Bro, I just gave you drugs."
Bro, that shows. It shows what's important, bro. He needs change. You can't just give someone.
What does he need change for?
Crack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "What is this? Oh, this weed is just gonna wet my beak."
For sure, he lit it. He's like, "There's zero coke inside the spliff." He's
Where's
like,
the crack?
What the fuck's wrong with this?
It's not
guy?
a crack lace spliff. What am I?
What are you saying? What are you saying the rest of the day, rest of the night? What are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Relaxing.
You're just gonna chill?
I'm gonna start a revolution.
Are you?
No.
Start a revolution in your life. That's what everybody should be doing.
Anyways, guys, this is Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. You can follow me at jam_easy.
Were you feeling okay? You all right?
I'm ready to call it. I'm tired.
Bro, we should have talked about your weekend before we started.
No. No, we shouldn't have. I dragged my feet kicking and screaming to not do any work this weekend, but Colin, he inspired me. He gave me a Fred Hampton like speech. He said, "My name Colin Cummins of the Bad Boys of History." And I was like, "Whoa! If you're gonna talk like that, I'm in."
Bro, yeah, bro. I step people up. That's it. We can do more. That's it, bro. We can always do more.
We can always do more, and that's what you can do, watching at home or listening.
You can You can find me at Colin's Process. I'm a psychedelic advocate, so you'll see a lot of psychedelic posts on there, and then you'll see Pros and Conquerors posts on there because that's what I love. I love psychedelics and jam music.
And yeah, share it, guys. Tell your friends. Listen up. We're starting a revolution.
He is
History.
Okay, I'm not. Right?
Yeah,
because you won't get shot. I'll get shot if I'm the one starting it. Okay.
Yep. Live fast, die young.
Irish Panthers.
Peace.
Peace out, guys. Fred Hampton. Rest in paradise.
Of the Illinois Black Panther Party.
Rest in power, sir. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for listening to Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. Rate, review, subscribe, and share. And remember to participate on our Instagram and shit and all that good stuff and blah, blah, blah. Follow us on Instagram.